Shanu, call your husband also, if possible. Oh, nice.
So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy Bringling. My name is Anshav Jain, and I am Chairman and Managing Director of this Design Your Unicorn NFT $1 billion fund. $1 billion dream is a dream for each of you. We are looking at transforming 1 billion lives, helping 1 billion people to achieve their financial freedom, getting debt free, and generate as much as possible as passive income. Our whole mission is towards started when I was in, it was around 2013 when I actually lost my job, a high paying job in 2013, and was wondering what would I do with my EMIs which I had been going through. I had almost a $500,000 of debt which I built up over a period of 7 years after I lost my job, because I had to work on my own businesses and I wanted to get into the businesses. There was no mentor, there was no support which was available for me. And one of the biggest challenge because of which I had to go back to the same jobs to survive financially, even though I didn't want to, is because I had so many of EMIs. I was having actually worth of 3 crores worth of net worth with me in terms of assets. But if you see, I was actually a rich beggar. I was begging in front of the banks. I was looking at that, my EMIs has to be paid because all those were on lending. There was car which was on loan, and I was struggling badly. And that's the time I actually started my businesses. I eventually lost almost 7 businesses in 7 years of time, having a $500,000 of debt, which it took me some time, but finally I left my corporate world on 3rd January 2020 and took up a mission to work towards, we call it as Vision 2030, to transform 1 billion lives, 1 million businesses, and 100 unicorns with an investment of $1 billion and adding $5 trillion GDP to our country, which is India. And India is, because I am a little patriot from that perspective. It took me almost a year or so, more than a year, to actually become debt free in 2021. But that does not come so easy. I had to sell my properties, I had to upskill myself, I had to work on my businesses, and eventually I have grown my loss making startup or a company called Bringle into a $100 million global startup today. We have a world record in presence in 158 plus countries. And we have a community of 50,000 plus experts, 15,000 plus entrepreneurs, 3,000 plus angel investors. We work with 50 plus angel funds and angel syndicate funds, as well as venture capitalists. We are supporting more than 350 incubation centers in our country. Also, we are working with 17 plus state government startup ecosystems and skill development. So we work with Skills India, we work with Invest India, Startups India, MSME, all these government organization or government setups who are supporting to work towards the business's transformation. And that is where our journey went from, my journey from 2013 to 2023. In fact, I just celebrated my 10 years of job loss on 31st October 2023. So you can wish me a very, congratulations for losing my job. So, with this, the whole mission, it started on 15th August 2021 when I became the debt free. So after that, we took a mission to get the financial freedom for our country. We have got the freedom in terms of the physical freedom on 15th August 1947, but it took 755 years. I don't know how many of you are aware, and I want to share this fact with you before going to the presentation and what is this mission all about. Because this mission of $1 billion dream is not just about you. It's just not about the country. It's about everybody supporting, coming together and focusing towards transforming India back into a #1 economy. India was called as a Sone ki Chidiya, right? Golden bird. And we lost that status. We lost our independence in 1192 when we lost our last Hindu Samrat, Prithviraj Chauhan. And since then, I don't know how many of you are aware, only Britishers took more than $67 trillion of worth away from India during their lifespan, during their time. And even today, if you see the world's largest economy, US, their They're not even $26 trillion GDP. And we had 60, they had taken $67 trillion worth of wealth from India. And we are currently just crossed $4 trillion economy, becoming the fifth largest economy in the world. The point here is we are growing a very, very fast pace. India has got given 111 unicorns. How many of you know unicorn? What does unicorn mean in the business ecosystem? Anybody would like to share? Okay, I assume no. Uh, See, unicorn is in the startup world is called as the company which has $1 billion worth of valuation with them, which means their company is valued at $1 billion, and if they want to sell that company, they can sell it at $1 billion. That is called unicorn. I'll give you a few examples. Like Flipkart was sold at $2 billion, so it was actually twice of the unicorn thing when they were sold off. And similarly, if you see Byju's became $22 billion company. And there is something called Decacorn, which is around $10 billion company and things like that. And one more important fact which I would like to tell you, all the billionaires or the millionaires in the world have come in either from becoming an entrepreneur or an investor. In fact, as per Robert Kiyosaki, and everybody would know that 95% of the wealth are actually owned by these 5% of the people in the world. And these are nobody but business owners or investors. Now, when I started my journey, I had no other option but to start my own business, because I had so much of debt. I didn't know what to do with it. I did not know how to start my investment journey. And I didn't want to go back to the business. But there are many people who, at that point in time, people used to tell me, Anja, why are you getting into business? It's better to go into another job, find another job. It will help you out. And probably it would have helped me out. I would have been having a crore of, yearly package by now. I was already earning, the highest. I was the youngest vice president in the highest and getting the highest amount of salary at the age of just 34 years. But is that enough? Is the money enough? What was my lifestyle? I had been, going to the every day. I literally used to slap myself every day when I used to go to office, because I used to feel that what am I doing with my life? But because of my financial constraints, I had to go. Then I took a conscious decision to save up some money for myself, keep some money so that I can survive my family for 6 months, 1 year time, and then left the job on 3rd January 2020. Since then, this vision started from there, and we launched this initiative called Financial Freedom Movement on 15th August 2021, and a book and a movement called Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao, which is awakening the golden bird. So that is the whole mission, is what we are talking about. So $1 billion dream is nothing but transforming 1 billion lives, helping them to achieve their financial freedom, and let them do whatever they want in their life, and raise $1 billion from our Indians to invest in the Indian startups, and eventually you will be able to fund the next 100 unicorns of India and probably become the next billionaire. And this is what I'm going to share some of the stories to you, how this entire mission started, what is this all about, and why we are doing in terms of the work, whatever we are trying to do at this point in time. And some of the case studies which I will share, how people have literally became a billionaire in just less than 10 years of time with a very, very small investment of their own. Now, this is what we started as a mission. Hope all of you are able to see my screen. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Just a moment. Okay, so this started from 2020, and we have an Amrit Kal vision for 2047, which is we are calling it as Mission Zero. Mission Zero has two components. One is Mission Zero Unemployment and Mission Net Zero. So that is what it actually converts into the two volumes of the book, which is available. The volume one on Mission Zero Unemployment is available on Amazon, and I would really recommend all of you to buy that. It is available globally. You can check these details at sonekichidiya.org. Uh, this book actually talks about startup ecosystem. How do you, if you want to start your startup, how can you start your company? What are the things you have to take care? There are 4 areas, 7 pillars, and 105 factors which can make or break the businesses. And how you can ensure that you have a sustainable, adaptable, and profitable business is what this book will talk about. This book is also having an option where to invest, how to evaluate the startups, what are the things you have to take care of, what are the new economies which are coming up, where you should be looking at investing your money, even if you're going into stock markets or all. Because Chandrayaan 3 actually was supported, that entire project was supported by 13 startups, which eventually became the much bigger name in the industry today, and they're getting a lot of investors. So how do you identify such companies at a very early stage so that you can make money is what is also written into the book. The volume 2 is focusing more on Mission Net Zero, which will focus on environment, social impact, governance, health, accessibility, and all those aspects as well. And that entire 2 volumes will be translated into 12 regional languages. Right now this book is in English, but it is getting translated into 12 regional languages. Now these are the languages: Hindi, Kannada, Gujarati, Marathi, Bengali, Punjabi, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Odia, Urdu, and Assamese. And we are targeting to reach out to 30 cities across the these 12 state clusters across the 5 regions of the country by 2025. And we are going to start up a big mission out of there, wherein the caravan and everything will be going off, reaching out to each and every state and city in the country. Lakhiwag is one of the project, which is a social impact project to transform 1 lakh youth and children in every city of all districts in every state of India. And that is more, we work from a CSR organization, Rotary kind of organizations and things like that. This is our Vision 2030, which I spoke about, transforming 1 billion lives, 1 million businesses, and 100 unicorns with an investment of $1 billion and adding $5 trillion GDP to our country. This is what the project Bharatvarsh, which we are focusing upon with this $1 billion fund, where the startups and MSMEs would come together with invest on digitalizing India with one identity as one Aadhaar, with which one's digital identity as in your blockchain and your virtual identity in the metaverse aspect as well. So you will have a virtual GPS. It's called virtual positioning system. So you can actually track your health records, travel records, location records, your family, your skill sets, your HR records, anything, real estate, vehicle, everything would be part of this one project called Project Bharatvarsh. And that is what it will be taking care of. Now, let me tell you what it is this whole thing all about, and how the Digitalizing India project or Project Bharatvarsh is going to take up best for us. See, future is uncertain. Nobody knows that. But believe me, it's really, really bright and exciting. 99%, and these are the data which I'm talking about, which is coming from the research reports. 99% of the vehicles will be driverless. And actually, there will be no schools. We ourselves are building up a teacherless, internet-free metaverse education platform, which will be deployed across the globe, so that we will be taking the school to your home rather than children going to the schools out there. There'll be various aspects of a blended model out here, but that will be discussed separately. There'll be no villages or small towns. Frankly, everything will convert into cities. Sea water, you can actually start drinking. Power charging would be wireless. I think it's already there, but it's not that much possible at this point in time. Very soon it's going to happen. Shopping malls are going to be the history, because there'll be no shopping malls available. It will be all retail stores available virtually in the metaverse. You will think, and the material will be delivered at your place. All these people you see who are working at a very low strata jobs, they will actually lose their jobs. Because the robots, drones, artificial intelligence, everything will come into the perspective. There'll be a biomanufacturing of organs. And actually, it has all it started. We have set up working with Tamil Nadu Industrial Development Corporation, TITCO, to actually they have set up a place where they are starting the 3D manufacturing of organs. And that is what it has started out there already. There are genome research which is happening, how you can completely change your genomes, DNA, you can have clones and things like that. Now, this is one case study I just want to share with all of you. Facebook. I'm sure everybody would know Facebook, right? I'm sure. Peter Thiel, who is on the right side of the screen, he's actually was the one of the person who was working with Elon Musk. And they were three co-founders who started PayPal. And this PayPal, when they sold the company, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk took his wealth and started space, Tesla and then SpaceX. Peter Thiel invested a small amount of $500,000. In that value, probably at that time, 3.5 crores or 4 crores maximum. And in 8 years, he actually got $1.1 billion of worth of cash with him. And even after that, he was owning many shares with Facebook, and even today. That's the kind of potential you get in startup investment. Now, many people tells me about that age is a concern. I've gone old and things like that. I may not be requiring that money. Bill Draper was 74 years of age. He just invested 80 lakh rupees. 80 lakh rupees, which was around $100,000 in Skype. Within 3 years, he actually made 800 plus crores out of it. And that's the kind of, potential you get in out of that. So from $100,000 to $100 million is what he made in just 3 years of time. And he invested without a business plan. A lot of times we ask as a MBA graduate, I myself is an MBA marketing and finance. So we ask for a business plan, we look for financials and everything, and we try to do best of the things, especially the banks. And I'm sure you are all working in the banks, so you would know that. But startup is one area which is little a dark area. So you have most of the times you trust on the founders, the people who are running it, and then you make billions out there. And that is what the whole startup point is. Now, small is big. See, this is one fund. This was the 17,500 is actually the earlier rate. It is now 20,000 rupees. But this is the lowest ticket size possible for you in the startup ecosystem. Today, if you see, as per the SEBI rules, it's minimum 25 lakh rupees which you have to invest. So if you want to invest in startups with a principal protection guarantee and an easy liquidation option, this is the only platform which is available, which is $1 Billion Dream. None of the platforms across the globe provides you all three options out there at a single platform and still give you returns of 100x or 1000x plus returns over a period of 8 to 10 years. And that is what the major aspect which we are focusing upon there. So just want to quickly share one OAO story as well. And this is one of my mentors, Sanjay Mehta, who himself has done 167 plus investments, personal investments, and now running his own company called 100x.vc, with whom they have already supported more than 7 or 8 batches by now. Every batch would have 20 or 30 startups where they would have invested. And this is how, he has actually invested in OAO at the rate of 1,200 rupees per share. And it became 3.21 lakh rupees, which is 250x plus returns. And it is just a 22-year-old founder who started this company out there. So age is not the barrier. There are people who have made like KFC or McDonald's. If you see, they started their journey at 65 years plus. These are the 4 people who are working behind this entire mission. And this entire, 17 SDGs of United Nations, they are being divided into 4 segments: startups, skills, social, and health. And we are focusing each segment into different models. So I focus on startups, building up the fund investor ecosystem, business ecosystem, working with MSMEs, working with corporates. And that's kind of a business transformation is what I focus upon. Dr. Vinaya, she is an educationist for the last 26 years. She's a principal in a school in Bangalore. Apart from that, she's working to develop the teacherless internet free platform, metaverse platform, and working through skill development in various schools and colleges. Sharmila Diwatia is part of the government for the last 20 years. She supports them for writing various laws, even a new education policy, disability laws, and she even supports them today and working towards with Rotary to make the transformation in the country from the health, inclusion, diversity, education perspective. Aishwarya takes care of the healthcare from working towards, making an affordable and accessible health insurance, health and happiness index, and holistic health management ecosystem. So this is the whole focus for us, wherein we are looking at funding the next 100 unicorns of India, where we are going to invest. We support them with our proprietary design your unicorn methodology to transform their businesses into 100x plus in 3 to 5 years. And we are not just saying that we are going to blindly invest in somebody. We are going to work with them to transform their businesses to 100x plus in 3 to 5 years and 1000x plus in 8 to 10 years. So it is not like putting an investment and then praying to the God and so God, let's let this startup be growing. So while we select startups whom we are taking up within our cohort, we also work with them to help them grow into the next level. And that is what the unique methodology or the work style which we do. We support them on all the solutions from the cash flow perspective, whether it is incoming or outgoing cash flow. So whether it is business development, fundraising, then your mentoring support, branding, business development, cash, operational excellence, digital transformation, financial modeling, everything we support them from end to end and help them make them sustainable, investable, and profitable, because profitability is going to be the key factor for us to determine investment in any startup. See, couple of challenges which today's investors find in to invest in startups. While everybody wants to invest in startups in some way or the other, at least that is a way for them to get engaged into a startup, in their personal capacity. And I'll give you some small numbers, okay, the way we are looking at. If we talk about India, India has almost 140 crores of people. Out of that, 50% can easily invest a small amount of, let's say, 20,000 rupees. And if we talk about that 20,000 rupees, we are not saying everybody will do. Maybe let's say 1% of people, which is 70 lakh people, will invest 20,000 rupees. It will actually become 1,400 crores, which is actually 2 billion, or close to $2 billion, not $2 billion exactly. And we are looking at raising $1 billion so that we can invest in these startups and work with them to make them 100x or 1000x and eventually get 100 unicorns out of them. That is the whole perspective of $1 billion dream. Now, of course, that will be required from the perspective that we will be helping 1 billion people to at least achieve their financial freedom with this model. So high ticket size, this one of the challenges that SEBI rules is that you have to invest 25 lakh rupees. Another biggest risk for people is that probably 25 lakh rupees is your whole life savings. And if you put that money and that start 9 out of 10 investments fail. With that risk, how many people will be able to get into that? And that is why we want to focus upon that you should not lose your hard-earned money, at least the principal part of it. We have various other options into it, but we'll talk about that. The another third challenge is that liquidity challenges. You will not be able to liquidate your money until the startup tells gives you that option. But with us, you will have lowest ticket size. I mean, again, this is an old slide. So this is now becoming 20,000 rupees. By tomorrow, this share will become 21,000 rupees. But it comes with your principal protection guarantee. So we guarantee you that every year, we call it as actually a, lakh crorepati from Lakhpati offer, or Lakhpati to crorepati offer, and take your lakh back as well. So basically, where if you invest 1 lakh rupees out here, every year we will give you 10% returns, which is 10,000 rupees in your account. And please listen to this very, very carefully. It is a very important aspect because this is the offer. You will not get it anywhere else. So if you invest 1 lakh rupees, buy 5 shares worth 20,000 rupees today, you will get 10,000 rupees every year for the next 10 years time. Now, whatever the 1 lakh rupees you invest, we will allocate you into a NFT platform, which is our homegrown NFT platform, where your shares would be allocated in the form of NFT. You can actually go there and sell it to any other investor basis on the future prices on that. So let's assume that in 2 or 3 years time, your value of 1 lakh shares has become 5 lakh rupees. You can actually go onto the platform, sell your, let's say, 2 lakh worth of shares, take your money back from the market. It's like a stock market for startups, and that is the platform we are building up right now, but it is available in a decentralized manner. You can take your 2 lakh rupees back, the 1 lakh which you invested. Out of that, that money has become 5 lakhs on the share value. You've taken the 2 lakh rupees back from that. You still have 3 lakh worth of shares, which can potentially grow to 3 crores over a period of 8 to 10 years time. This is a general calculation I'm taking from the easy calculation. Exact calculations, I can share that onto your emails. So if you make that, you are still keeping that 3 lakh worth of shares, which can probably make 3 crores for you. You are, and the 1 lakh rupees which we have committed to you, that 10,000 rupees every year, that will keep coming to you any which ways. So frankly speaking, you have doubled up your 3 times, you have made your money 3 times in just 2 or 3 years time. And rest that money may grow to 100x or 1000x in the 8 to 10 years of time. So that is how your returns are calculated, where you can make 5.5 crore rupees from a 1 lakh rupees of investment without any risk. There is practically zero risk out there. And in fact, you will be able to make at least 2x or 3x within the next 2 or 3 years of time, if not less, if not more. So that is what this whole opportunity. Again, this was 17,500, but now it is 20,000 rupees per share. One of the startup where we had invested, it has already given us 1.5x plus returns in just 6 months. The startup name is Recode. It's there on our Designer Unicorn platform. You can check that as well. And this startup was 100 crores when we invested, and now it is 250 crores. We are actually raising 14.4 crores for them as well at this point in time. So this is the kind of benefits you get in, and this is the kind of returns you get in, which is available only through this platform out there. When we started, there were 3426 shares available, but right now it's only 2825 left. You'll have to be very, very fast, and more the share prices increases, these tokens goes away on that. I mean, before I move forward, how many of you know this guy? He's a Hollywood star actually. Chris Sacca, anybody knows? Okay, I'm assuming no. So Chris Sacca is a Hollywood star, and he actually invested in Uber. He came into Shark Tank also in US sometimes. He invested only 3.6. His 3.6 lakh rupees was turned into 185 crores. With a ticket size, he invested around $300,000, which if you see from the Indian rupees point of view would come to around 2 crores or so, 2.5 crores. Now, he still owns 4% of Uber shares, even after taking the $1 billion out of it. And he has worth of $36.6 billion, even today, with only 4% of shares. So that is the kind of benefit you have when you invest in startups on that. Zomato, somebody who would have invested 10 lakh rupees 11 years ago, they would have actually made 224 crores by now. From 2010 to 2021, people have made that money. But the problem is, one of the problems which I've seen with Zomato, Paytm and all these, when they come onto IPO stage, the investors, Indian investors, invest at that stage, because till that time, they're not aware about these opportunities. And when they invest, they've already lost the biggest deal, because now it's only for them to lose. like Zomato prices, Paytm prices, all are less more than 50% down right now. But who have gained? The Chinese investors, the foreign investors, because 90% of Indian startups are funded by non-Indians, the foreign investors. So the whole objective of this $1 billion dream or Sone ki Chidiya ko jagao model is to bring more and more of Indian investors investing in these Indian startups at a very, very early stage so that they can realize their $1 billion dream rather than somebody else coming from outside and realizing their $1 billion dream. That's the whole aspect of $1 billion dream is what we are looking at in this entire model. These are some of our community startups which we are been supporting on that. So you will get some details on our website as well. There are more than 700 startups database, startups have invested or, reached out to us. There are 85 plus community startups we support right now, the 27 plus portfolio businesses with whom we work on a regular basis to support them. There are 5 plus investment cohorts which we are taking it up to various parts across the globe to raise further investments for them. These are the 5 plus investment cohorts where we have invested so far. This is our current reach and overall aspects which I spoke to you early we have a world record in this, and it's not just that we are just claiming it, we have a signed off world record on this aspect as well. Now, this is what you would like to do. You can do from this 1 lakh perspective. See, current price is 20,000 rupees per share. If you invest today is the last date, you get 5 shares out of that. You will still get 10%, all that option you will get in. But till today, you have an option because we have a 20% money going into the debt funds, 20 to 40%. And that is how we are able to give you commitment of your 10% per annum for your principal protection. So only till today, you will get the shares also for that amount, for your debt value as well. From tomorrow, we will give you only the value of your equity component, which is 60%. So that means you will get only 3 shares out of it. You will not get those 2 shares, the money for which we are using for the debt payments. If you do it 1 month later, you can decide to do it now or later. But if you do it beyond this year itself, you probably will be getting only 1 share in 1 lakh rupees. So if you see it from that perspective, you're actually gaining 5x returns in just 1 month of time. That is the kind of value which I'm offering it today, only for today at this point in time. And you can look at those options. As I said, this I would like to, again, this value is old one, but I would want you to think about this and answer these questions for you. Maybe you can just take a screenshot or write these questions. And I would like to know from you on this. What's keeping you awake at night? How are you securing your future? And why do you like financial freedom? If you have these questions going on somewhere, I would want you to, kind of awaken them more. Think about them. How are you going to secure your life? How are you going to live your life the way you want it? Rather than going to, like, my schedules are very, very different right now. I keep traveling all across the globe. I get up as per as when I want it. I don't have to get up because I have to go to office by 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. I used to do that. But now I do it as per my own. There are Sundays where I work entirely whole day. But there are Monday to Fridays I will sleep whole throughout the week. But I do it as per what I wanted. I can travel. I was in Bombay for almost 16, 17 years for my professional career. Now I'm in Bangalore. I keep traveling I'm going to Dubai next week. Then I'm going to Bangladesh. Then I'm going to Dubai again. Then last week, US, Singapore. And I've been to, Sri Lanka just last month as well. I have no problem. My business keeps happening right now. My business keeps running. And because I am financially free, and I'm able to do it because I'm financially free today. And this is what the mission which I have taken it up along with my team, where we are looking to transform 1 billion lives and helping them to achieve their own financial freedom. So with this, I'll just take a, kind of stop sharing the screen and come back to you all. So that's about the entire aspect of $1 billion dream is what we are focusing upon, and the investment opportunity. So I'll take a pause. Would look forward for your questions. Yes, anybody has any questions? Vidhi?
Yeah, Neha, Shagat, any questions you want to understand?
No, ma'am.
So I have my another co-founder, I think, also joining in. I don't know if I'll just check. Dr. Vinay, are you there?
Yes, good morning.